Hello from Burgos, and this is week 3.
We started this week in San Sebastian. Feels like a long time ago now, huh?
Yeah.
Doing lots of jobs and getting stuff sorted. We spent a lot of time inside, which was actually pretty rubbish.
On one day.
On 1.5 days.
Yeah.
So the city was a bit of a mystery to us for a while, but we ended up having a really fantastic night Pinchos bar hopping.
Yeah.
And I made a little video of that. It's on our blog and on our Instagram. So we're not going to show that in this video today. But yeah, San Sebastian was cool. But I do think 3 days is enough.
Yeah. It was enough for us.
Yeah.
Because we're going, we have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
There was way more food I could have eaten.
This is true. And also, we didn't go to any of the Michelin starred places.
Yeah.
So I think actually...
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing for our bank account. But we had a really nice time eating great food. Cal got a haircut. We had a nice time on the beach. So yeah, San Sebastian was great.
We met Nicholas. We met Nenad.
Yeah.
Nenad was this guy from Brooklyn who's actually a waiter in a very well-known restaurant there.
Manhattan.
Manhattan.
I think so.
Okay.
New York.
And it was cool for us because we're kind of trying to travel in the spirit of Anthony Bourdain, and obviously we would never meet him, but we met this other guy from New York who was in the food industry, and
he reminded us
good.
of Anthony Bourdain, and we got excited.
Yeah. And he gave us a lot of sort of good wishes and good charms, and so it was a nice way to end.
It was
the
a
trip.
really nice way to meet a new person.
Yeah.
He was a great guy.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
We ate pig's ears together.
Yeah. Won't be doing that again.
I would.
Yeah.
So after San Sebastian, we were heading pretty much southwest for a bit into proper Basque country, and it was really hard riding. Like 20% uphill for 2k, 5% downhill, and then straight back up again. And it was pretty grey.
We were in a cloud for most of it. Literally in a cloud.
We were tired.
Mentally in a cloud.
To's knee was playing up.
Yeah.
Because it was so steep.
It was tough.
So we would do like a 30k day, which is way shorter than we'd normally do, and not even that much climbing, and it would just be like the most horrendous thing.
It was brutal. It was brutal. Lots of pushing up, lots of scrambling down, and some pretty moody people. Let's admit.
Yeah, but they weren't bad people.
No, we were the moody people.
Oh, right. Yeah. What are you eating? What?
So riding in Basque country was pretty different to riding in France, I would say. It felt like a different country, which I suppose, yay for them, that's what they want. And it definitely felt that way. It had some spectacular views and some really beautiful scenery, but I think it was just way too industrial for me.
Yeah, and because it's nowhere's really like very high
No.
compared to the Pyrenees, for example.
Yeah.
Or the Greater Pyrenees, but it's not. It's harder to get around, especially on a heavy bike.
Yeah.
So we wanted to take small roads and trails that went up over these small mountains to get where we wanted to go, but they're really hard on any bike, basically.
Yeah.
And so to explore that way, you really need to be on foot. So you then end up taking the easier roads, which are the roads that follow the river valleys, and so you're following the waterline, which is very busy.
Mm-hmm.
They're not major national roads, but they're still super busy, so it's pretty stressful riding there.
Yeah.
Even though you're covering ground quickly, and at the same time, it's full of industry.
Yeah.
And there's metalworks and there's paperworks, and so there's wood.
Warehouses everywhere, just big concrete buildings.
Yeah.
And I don't know, even the little villages, they weren't very cute. So maybe we just chose the wrong path, but the Basque country wasn't
Somewhere
our
to
best
explore
friend.
on foot.
Somewhere to explore on foot, we agree. But while we were there, we did have a really lovely warm showers host, and she taught us so much about Basque sort of culture and language, which was amazing. And we stayed in this tiny little village, and they were having a Fiesta de Pueblo, which is a town party that hadn't happened since before COVID, and that was quite funny. It was proper like party music until about midnight, which wasn't too bad. But then the next day they were setting up activities, bouncy castles and things like all over the town, which was really nice to see. It was great to see some life, because I felt in a lot of the Basque villages that we'd seen, it wasn't very lively at all. So that was quite nice. A little injection of life to see. That was good. About 30k to ride today, and we don't need to be in wherever we're going until 8 p.m. because we have warm showers host today. So we decided to hide our bikes in a bush, and we're hiking down to a lake, which is nice. train to Bilbao. So that's sort of coming out of Basque Country, right?
Yeah. Well, no, not yet. Because Bilbao
Sort
is
of. Still Basque.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's as Basque as San Sebastian. Anyway.
No. Well, we were told San Sebastian is like deep Basque.
Deep Basque.
And we were recommended to get the train by our warm showers host.
Yeah, because the
Um,
roads were rubbish and industrial
Yeah.
between where we were and Bilbao. So we got a little train to Bilbao, which was super easy, and Bilbao was wicked. Really, really cool.
Yeah. Quite weird.
Nice, weird.
So we had 2 good days in Bilbao.
Yeah.
Um,
There's so much to see. Definitely a city that we need to go back
Yeah.
and explore again.
for arts, architecture, music, and food.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, a really lively city.
It felt liberal.
Mhm.
It didn't feel oppressive. It felt modern.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Really cool city. And from there, we got the first train where we needed to put our bikes in our bike bags, which was it wasn't stressful actually, but it was quite an experience and a really nice full circle situation for you.
We had to make these particular bags that you have to fit your dismantled bike into to be allowed to take them on certain trains in France and Spain.
Mhm.
So me and my mum made these bags before we left, and then thought we might not ever have to use them, and it was pretty hard work to put them together, but anyway we did it, and so we had to use them in Bilbao.
Yeah.
And so it was a simple process to put them in, but it was a crazy moment because we'd been thinking about doing that very thing for so long, and the whole process of how to do it, and how am I going to take the rack off and fit it in the bag, and how can I do this with as few tools as possible, and
Yeah.
how much time is it going to take, and how long would we need to get to a station beforehand to make it work, and
Yeah. We gave
all this
ourselves
stuff.
plenty of time.
we needed it.
We did need it, to be fair. It was a long process. And putting them back together after the train was pretty long too.
Yeah.
But it was very successful. We did it. No stress, no arguments, no
Yeah.
tears.
No broken bags.
No broken back. Ooh, little bit of a hole in my bag.
Yeah.
But not broken.
Fully
No broken
usable.
bike, no broken bags. All good. And the train was really fantastic. And now we are south, right? South of Bilbao. Southwest. And we are starting our journey following the Camino de Santiago towards A Coruña, which is where we're going to be volunteering in like 20 days' time. We've chosen this route because it's a little bit easier on my knee, but we've also been told that it should be really interesting, and already we can see the architecture changing, the feel of the places is changing.
Because we're not in Basque anymore, we're in Spain.
Yeah, this is like, it does feel like a different country, but it's really exciting. We did a nice long day yesterday, and we've sort of, feels like we're starting a new route. Well, we are. And we're back in our tent, back in Hilly. We were feeling a little bit lost. I think we'd been staying in a lot of Airbnbs, warm showers, hostels, basically just staying in real beds, which you kind of think of, that's luxurious, right? But actually being in our tent is like, it's our home. It has all of our stuff, and it doesn't matter if we leave something in the corner because the tent will be put away and we'll find it. And I find I can relax so much more in a tent than in an Airbnb or a hostel that isn't my space. So yeah, I feel good. Do you feel good?
Yeah, it feels really good. We had a 90k day yesterday, going through the Rioja region.
We'll show more footage of that next week.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just feels good. It feels like we're back on track, and it's good.
And it feels really good to be changing plans.
Yeah.
And to just be able to do that.
Yeah.
And to not be set on making the first one happen.
Definitely. Yeah. Being able to get a train and not feel guilty about it, and getting to a place where you feel happier and you want to ride more, and you're not pushing your bike up hills all day.
And being able to ride past pilgrims walking in stinking hot weather and having to battle flies around, and we can just cruise past.
It's kind of mean, but it's true.
Yeah, that feels good.
Yeah. So that's the end of week 3, and I hope you like the video. We'll see you next week. Bye!